The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. There it is. There we are. We're on. I'm pumped to do this with you, man. It was awesome to meet you at Pouza. Jeff had spoke highly of you for a while, so it was cool to place a face to the name, you know?
Yeah, likewise. It was cool to meet you.
Yeah. How long have you been involved with Pouza?
I guess since the second year, so 2012. I'm from Eastern Quebec, and I moved to Montreal in 2011. So like the first Pouza was the weekend that I moved to Montreal. So like, wow. I was like, this is Montreal. That's so cool. I want to be here all the time, which was a good thing because that's the exact moment that I was moving in. And then the year after, I started volunteering. I was in charge of driving bands from the airport to their hotels or to the venues. I was 19 back then, so it was a cool thing for me to drive like the Lawrence Arms and Lagwagon and Hot Water Music, and I was like, that's pretty cool. And then the year after, I don't remember if I was still driving bands, but I was one of the venue managers. And then the year 4, I did the same thing. Year 5, I think I did the same thing. And year 5 or 6 is the year that I became one of the shareholders of the festival. And wow. I guess I became more involved at that time. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So moving to Montreal, was that like, did you do that for like music, or you just wanted to change, or?
Well, I'm from a small town that's like, I wanted to live in a city. Montreal is a fun city. And also I went for school, like I went for college. And well, that was the main thing that I told my parents, you know. I told them like, yeah, I need to go to college, which I did. I have plenty of degrees. I'm actually still at school right now. I'm doing a PhD. I do a lot of stuff. So yeah.
Was music always part of your life? Like,
yeah, I've always been in band since I was 12. Organized my first shows back in my hometown, and when I was 14, I think, I was renting an all ages venue, which was not very, like, it was not a venue. It was just like like a Legion Hall where they were having some parties sometimes, but like it was a weird thing because they were having like a Sunday, like if we rented the room on Saturday nights, then we needed like the room had to be very clean in the morning because there was a Sunday morning mass there. Yeah, that was something. And then and I did not, when back then, like when I was 13 or 14 and I started organizing shows, I did not know how to do it. And it was kind of a cool experience as like a very young person to just like be like, I was like, so okay, so cool. I called the guy. Now the venue is booked. Like, what's the next step? And like somebody told me like, well, is there a PA there? And I'm like, what is a PA? And I'm like, well, there are speakers and like, and it was like from the start. I my I guess my upbringing was very DIY. Like every time I needed something new to be added to the process, I was always like, all right, so what's next? Like, what do we need to do? And it did the same thing with my bands. Like I've always been writing songs, and then it was like, okay, let's record them. Let's try to have our band playing local shows and then playing shows out of town. How do we play shows out of town? We just like find people online that are like-minded and then play some kind of music that is similar to our style of music, and then we ask them, hey, do you want to come play my small town in eastern Quebec, and we play in your town and whatever. And yeah,
That's awesome. That's awesome. Did you when you moved to Montreal, then you started getting involved with Pouza and everything like that. Like, it must have felt like a dream come true for you.
Yeah, but it was to me, it was like always like baby steps getting involved with this, because like I said, the first year was just like they basically told me like, hey, you have a minivan, you have a driving license, do you want to pick up bands? And I was like, sure. And then like it was getting more responsibilities every year. So I don't know. It always feels. There are some moments like that where I remember, for example, the second year at Pouzza, I was with Hugo, who started the festival, the singer from the St. Catharines, and we were side stage watching the Lawrence Arms, and I remember being next to him and watching the Lawrence Arms side stage, which back then was like one of my favorite bands, and I was like, that's unbelievable for me. And I'm glad I still get to experience like moments like these sometimes, like moments that you're like, oh shit, I went from there, now I'm here. It's kind of crazy. I hope I'm never gonna lose this.
Yeah, I don't think you will. I don't know. I feel like the positive energy you have, it feeds more positive energy, right? So I don't and if something was to ever happen, I feel like you would just move on to the next thing and kind of make that the next big thing for you, you know? I kind of pick up on like vibes of people, because I for a long time I had a real negative vibe, right? So I kind of like, I would see like, how come nothing ever good happens with me? But like I also wasn't putting myself out there to do it, right? So I think what you do is awesome, man. I really do. And it was just cool because like when I met you and and Jeff, we were talking, and you said you had a new album coming out, and I was like, oh, let's get you on the podcast. And then I just happened to be going through my emails, and there's a couple PR companies that send me stuff all the time, and I came across yours, and it was like, it said like Montreal-based musician, and I was like, let me just click on that, and then I saw your name, and I was like, oh, I know who this is, So it was cool because like I knew I had to get in touch with you anyway, and I had planned on it. So it was just cool that I got to hear the album right away.
That's cool.
Yeah, man. And I tell you, it's the first time I listened to your music, and it really resonated with me. I really enjoyed it. I liked it. Like I was like, I listened to it a couple times, and then like, it was funny. I think the night I listened to it was like the day after I had talked to Micah and Vanessa, and
nice.
And Vanessa's on the album. So it was kind of like a full circle moment for me because of Pouzza too. When you play out, do you play with a band now, or do you play solo now?
I do both. It depends on where I play and what the budget is. Like if the band I play with, they're all friends, but I try to, since it's not like their project, I try to pay them, which I think makes sense. So yeah, it all depends, but I do both.
Right. So when was like the last time? So I mean, what are your other projects? Do you have other projects out there like with bands and stuff, or has it always been just under Guilhem?
Yeah, I have a band called Lost Love. We haven't done much in the past 2 or 3 years. We've been on a hiatus. I guess maybe next year we're gonna try to do like new music, maybe play some shows. But I've been playing solo shows, and I've been playing music. I've been writing my own songs for a long, long time now. And I guess it all, like, I think it was back in 2011 that like I had a band back then, but the band was not available, and then there was a promoter that was like, okay, so if your band doesn't want to play, do you want to play a solo set? And I was like, well, I've never done that. And he was like, well, you're the one who's writing the songs, so you should be able to just grab a guitar and play your songs. And I was like, sure. And I did it, and I was like, huh, that was pretty funny. So, so I guess that after that, I was like, all right, so that's something that I can do. And I started doing it here and there. And I guess that at some point, I realized that it was very cool it was something that I really enjoyed, like doing solo acoustic tours, because like you get to travel around the world and you don't have to travel with a band, and it's not as expensive. It's more, you're more alone, you're more by yourself, but also you're more, you get more freedom to do what you want. And there's also like, there's always the money aspect of it, that like if I lose money and I'm by myself, it's not that bad, because I'm just like I'm on my own. But if I book a whole tour for me and 3 of my best friends, and at the end I ask them for money because we did not break even, then I would feel bad. So yeah, I guess it's the solo thing started because I wanted to travel a little bit more, and I guess I wanted to do more than just, because I think my band Lost Love at that time was playing a lot of shows, but I wanted to play even more, and not the rest of the guys in the band were not as available as I was, I guess.
Right on. And so with the new album, right? So the new album, a good one. It's tell me about it. Tell me, like, did you write these songs for an album, or were you just kind of writing these off and on?
It was like I wrote all these. I've been writing these songs since 2021, and I feel like I had this idea in mind that I wanted my next album to be not a coherent album, just like some songs, because my previous album, or I guess the albums that I've made so far, I always thought of them as like almost like I think it was Ian, like Guy Fox, that said this on your podcast. He said like that he likes to see an album as like a book. There's like there are chapters, and there needs to be some like a coherence in the whole thing. And I've always thought about my albums like that. And for this one, for a good one, I was like, nope, it's just songs.
Cool. Yeah.
There's there are some common themes, I guess, but it's not like, at first, the first name of that album was supposed to be something weird. Like the name of the album was supposed to be Very Creative, Weirdly Poetic, or Really High. And that was supposed to be the name of the album. And every time I was telling that to people, they were like, that's not a good name for an album. And I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I think it's a good name for that album. But I kept on telling everyone, like my next album, it's going to come out at some point next year. It's a good one. You're going to like it. You're going to love it. It's a good one.
Yeah.
And then at some point I was looking for a title, and I was like, that's the name of the album. That's a good one, because I keep on telling everyone it's going to be a good one. So I guess.
That's awesome. I tell you, because like and I ask that because in the vibe I got from listening to it, like, yeah, they're individual stories, and I like that. Like I'm a storyteller, right? I write. So like whenever I find an album, like and there's still like, you can always have one. You can always write songs that tell a story and still have an overarching feel to it and all that stuff too. But like but yeah, like with this one, like each song, it like put me into like a world, right? Into like this whatever you're singing about. Like I was in the room watching it break down, kind of. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's cool.
I felt that throughout this whole thing, and I liked it. I liked everything about it. I like, especially from like, I want to say it was like Hangover Cure, The Risk, Haunting Highways, like those 3. I was just standing there, like I was just like listening to it, and it really did like it encompassed like a whole world for me, or a memory. It triggered like a memory of mine, and I liked that. I liked that. So like, I went back into your Bandcamp, and like I had time today to listen to one, and I listened to, I'm gonna butcher the name, so I'm not gonna say the EP that came out in 2024.
Yeah.
And
that, the name is Amateur Scudo.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's yeah, that was the name of this is just a weird pun. It's all in French, but it even works in English, because there's prosciutto,
Yeah.
and so there's amateur sciutto, I guess.
Yeah. And and that was there. So these songs, like, they're in French, right? And I was like, I could still feel the songs. Like, when we were talking before the podcast started, I had said that, like, my grandfather was Italian. My grandfather was a musician.
Yeah.
And he would play songs. He would play, like, old country western songs, and then he would write songs like that in English. Then he would write songs in Italian. And
that's cool.
Yeah, and, like, I wouldn't be able to tell you what he was singing, but, like, I always felt the music. I think that's a big part of why I do what I do. You know what I mean? I think from, like, a musical standpoint, like, that EP too, like, even though lyrically I didn't know what was going on with it, but I felt it. I felt a lot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I think that speaks to you as a songwriter. Like, I mean, you write great songs, and I can't wait to go back and listen to the rest of what's on your Bandcamp. Because if it's, so I've gotten a dose of a collection of songs, right, from a good one, and then amateur shudo, I got, like, this part of it too, and now I gotta dive into the whole Guilhem discography here,
Yeah, and amateur shudo is an EP it was the B-sides from the 2 albums that I released in French, basically. So during the pandemic, I basically got a record deal here in Quebec with a, like, label here that signs bands that sing in French. At first I was like, I've never wanted to write songs in French, because I've always thought that, like, I don't like a lot of music in French. Like, even though it's my first language, I don't like, I have a few bands that I like, but in general I don't really like it. And it's not like, and what I realized was, like, what if, like, what if I were writing, like, songs in French, but the songs that I would want to listen to? I don't know if it makes sense. Like what if, like, I'm the person that could write songs for people to actually enjoy music in French? And it worked for, I would say, like, a dozen people, maybe more, but I don't know. It felt like to me like there's a few people here and there that were like, I don't really like music in French, but I really enjoy your stuff. And but what I realized also was, like, that what I like I told you, what I like about music is traveling, and I did some traveling with these albums. But the weird thing is, like, whenever, like, I end up playing shows in the US or in other provinces in Canada or in Europe, in countries that don't speak French, I cannot play, like, more than 2 French songs in a set, because otherwise people are like they don't want to hear it. So
yeah.
And,
people are weird.
And I totally understand that. So that's why I'm glad to be back with an album in English, because it resonates more with people, even though for me, in terms of songwriting, it's kind of similar.
Yeah, right on. Yeah. Well, so I mean, 12 songs. That's a hefty album, right? That's a hefty album, and, like, they're not like your typical like punk rock, like under a minute kind of thing.
Yeah, I think they're still pretty short. They're pretty short songs. I always try to keep them short.
Yeah, I know someone who's like, he won't do a song longer than, like, 2 minutes 20 seconds. Like, he's got a very hard deadline when he writes a song, which is, I think it's funny that he puts, like, that much, like, thought into each song. You know what I mean? And so I mean, so look, can we let's talk about the album a little bit. Tell me, like I know you said it was over a time from, like, 2021, you said, till now, right?
Yeah, I started writing and I just realized this, like, recently when I was listening to the first demos that I did on my phone, because I was, like, checking my vocal, like, what's it called, like, I don't know. I don't remember the name of the thing on iPhone where you can just record your voice.
Oh yeah, the voice memo thing.
Yeah, the voice memo app. Yeah, thank you. And some of the songs that are on this album, the first drafts of the songs were from 2021. I was like, no way, because I released an album in 2021. I released an album in 2023, and now I'm releasing one in 2025, which means that, like, 2 albums ago I was writing this album. So it's to me, and like I said, my 2 previous albums were in French, so that's maybe I put these songs like, oh, next time I'm releasing an album in English, I'm gonna put these ones, and that's what I did. I guess that last year in 2024, in the summer of 2024, I this album started when I had a collection of like maybe 20 something songs, and I wanted to do this as much why as possible for this time, because all my albums have been made with some kind of budget where I would go in a studio and spend like 7 to 10 days in a studio. Even though it was my solo project, I was hiring some musicians to come in studio with me, and it felt like a professional thing where that I would actually go in studio and like spend a lot of money and take a lot of time. But for this one, I was like, let's try to do as much as possible under like a budget, and let's try to make as much as possible at home. I hired one of my friends, Carl, who's a great musician. He's the one who's playing the drums on the record, and he's also like he co-produced the album. He helped me like whenever I was doubting myself. He helped me a lot with that, and we recorded the drums at his studio because I could not record drums at my apartment.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was another studio in Montreal which is where I recorded my previous 3 albums, where I had some credits there because I paid too much money last time I was there and something like that. So I was like, hey, I'm gonna go in the studio for 2 days and record guitars. So that's what I did, and the rest of it, like the vocals, I did all the vocals at home, all the synths, the acoustic guitars, I think they were in the studio. And then once I had everything, it was just like the vocals were something very weird for this one, because usually when I do the vocals, it's like a crucial moment in the studio, and I've got like the person behind the board, and I've got usually someone that's producing the album or someone that's helping out, and that they're telling me like, oh yeah, redo that one, like, or oh, you sang that like it was off key, or like do like say this instead of that. But for this album, I was alone at home, so I just had to be like, this is good enough. So most of the vocals on that album are just like first take or sometimes second take, third take, but I rarely did more than I guess 4 or 5 takes, because I was like, that's my voice, that's how it's gonna sound. I know I might be off key there, or I know I might pronounce this word weirdly because English is not my first language again, and I don't know. I guess at some point I was like, that's what the album is going to sound like, and that's fine.
Right on. Now, so, I mean, it seems like, because we were talking in the beginning of this episode, and you were saying how, like, learning, like, getting into the music industry and, like, doing things, booking shows, and then what led you to, you know, Pouza Fest, like, kind of was, like, all DIY. So it kind of feels like you kind of went back to that with this album, like you said. Did that feel good? Was it happy? Were you happier with it? Were you like, was it more fun for you kind of doing it this way as opposed to like going into the studio and doing all that?
Yeah, it was more fun. I guess I expected everything to go more quickly. Cuz I feel like that's one of the worst things about like when you write music and then you record it. It's the lapse of time between the moment you write your song and the moment where it's released to the public. I thought it was going to be quicker than that, but I guess that other than that, I really enjoyed it. I think that the next album that I'm going to make for my solo project is again going to be something more DIY, just because I can. It's just like, now that I have like, look at this, I got this microphone, I got another microphone to record other stuff. I got a couple toys here and there that's just like, oh, like I can do this at home. And the good thing about the album that I just made was that it was mixed by Frank Turner, so that was a good thing that made me go like, oh, even like I was kind of gambling. I was like, oh, like he's a professional, so like if I'm sending him like not so professional takes, he's gonna handle it, and I think he did a great job with that. So
yeah, that's awesome.
I remember like the first song, Small Talk, at the first mix he sent me, I replied, like I sent him a note and I was like, can you turn down the auto tune, because I feel like my voice is just like it's weird. And he said like, I did not put auto tune. And I was like, oh geez, my voice sounds good. I guess that's
That's awesome. That's like a pleasant surprise,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I was like, can you? Yeah, because and I thought like, oh, but you tuned it a little bit. And he was like, yeah, just a tiny bit, but it's not crazy.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, okay, cool.
That's cool. That's cool. Vinyl. You have vinyl coming out for this one too, right?
Yeah, I already have them right now.
Oh wow, cool.
Yeah, I did. I got them printed, the vinyls and the CDs, and I had them at Pouza Fest this year, which I did not advertise. It was not advertised
Yeah.
maybe very well, because right now every time I'm posting, well, right now we're in August right now, so I guess a month ago when I was posting stuff on the internet about my album, I always told people pre-order my album, but actually I should just say order my album because it's ready and I'm sending them. Like, but I just
You
like
get it early. Yeah. You get it early.
I had I had a couple people buying my album online, and it was just a pre-order, and the message probably said like, you're gonna receive it like mid-September, at the end of September, and they received it in July, and they were like, what?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I get excited about. I'm a big vinyl head, so I get excited if I get something early or whatever. Like I had a couple of friends that had they had an album coming out, and they sent me a test pressing because they know I collect them. So
Nice.
I couldn't help myself. Like I needed to listen to it. You know what I mean? Like I needed to listen to this album. So I had gotten those early and I listened to them, and it's I like that stuff. I always think too, like whenever someone sends me like like, hey, you want to hear a song I'm working on? Like they send me like a demo or like an unreleased track. Like I'm always like, every musician has a treasure chest and it's just full.
Yeah.
It's full of songs, and I wanna like be a pirate and just go, not pirate them, but like go and like steal them and listen to them,
Oh yeah, I get that.
I get like super excited about it.
I'm glad you're excited about test press, because like I thought it was a bigger deal than what it is, because like sometimes I have test press of my albums like at my merch tables, and people are just like, no, there's like, that's I don't want that, and I was like, all right, whatever.
I think the collectors, so like I'll get different variants of, like, see how I have like different color albums behind me, like I'll get the different variants just to have the extra. I totally became a collector, and it was like it happened out of nowhere. Like I was buying records at like yard sales and like flea markets, like just cheap ones to listen to on a cheap Jensen 3-speed with like with a built-in crappy speaker, and then I joined a record club, and then from there I just like,
I'm sorry,
the
what's a
first time I
record-
got like a different color of a vinyl, I'm like, they make these in different colors? Like I was so behind, I didn't know that. And
What's
then
a
from
record
there
club?
it just kind of stemmed into what it is today. So what's that?
Yeah, what's a record club? You mentioned a record club. That's
Yeah, so I had joined. It's funny. So I had joined a subscription service that would mail me a record every month, and I was a member since 20. I think it came out in 2016. It was started, and then 2 years ago, the guy who was getting rid of it asked me if I wanted to take it over. So now I have the record. Yeah, so now I have the subscription service. So.
wow,
It's it's kind of another weird full circle moment for me.
nice. That's cool.
So, yeah, it's it's fun. It's a fun little thing I do, just to help spread some music around, So, but hey, what? I wanted to ask you about one of your songs. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, do you know how many records do you own?
I do not, but I know I've filled a book that could hold, like, write out my catalog, and that holds 250 titles.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm over that. And then I think my case over here, I think it holds like 300, and that's pretty full. So.
I at home I have like, these IKEA shelves that are
Yeah.
like, like it's like there's like, they're called calyx for those who know. I don't know, like, and,
the cubed ones, right?
Yeah,
Like
the cube ones.
Yeah.
And I had a 2x2, so like 4 cubes, and I think I can put like 240 records in there or something like that. And I remember when I had that, I was like, I should get another cube. But like, I remember being like, is 240 like, that's a good amount of records? Do I really want more? What's happening with that? And I got another one, but now I'm like, but if I get like another one that like, that's again like 2x2, then I'm gonna am I now allowed to get 480 records at home? And I'm like, that's a lot of records. I have probably,
I probably have 35 records behind me sitting in a rack that I haven't listened to yet. It's in my I need to listen to section.
Yeah, I got that too.
I am. So and like a stack of them I got at Pouza. While I was there. So I just got to buckle down. And what happens is like I'll go to put one on, and like if my record player if it's a 45, like I have to change the belt, like I have to move the belt on my record player.
Mm-hmm.
So then that ends up being 45 day. Like I'm going to listen to all the 45s I have, if that, or not all, but like I'm going to. So like yeah, so some get like, all right, I can't listen to this one yet until I put it back to 33, and like I am absolutely ridiculous, Guilhem. Like I really am.
I get that. I think I'm the same.
Yeah, and like I have like, so I had those cube things too, right? I had gotten some cheap ones, and they were tall. Like they were like, what are they like? I think there's like 6 or 8 like squares in each one, and I was using that. And then when I got this kit, like the shelving that I have now, it's more compact. So I was like, well, I'll just get rid of these cube things. But then I realized like, hey, I can put my books on here.
Oh yeah.
So I have like books on one. I have movies in one. Like I'm like I about 3 months ago, I looked around. I'm like, where the fuck did I get all this shit? Like I used to live so like sparingly. Like I had nothing, and like it was like me and my dog and my television. And the television can stay if I have to get up and go, And now I have like tons of stuff, and I'm like we had a show here last weekend, and it was like felt like it was just like I felt like people were walking in to like kind of see my place, and it's like a little weird museum.
Yeah,
of like...
it's a museum now. You live in a museum.
Yeah, I don't know if it's overkill or not. I don't know.
I mean, if you enjoy it, that's cool.
Yeah, I do. I'm a big fan of like I said, listening to vinyl and stuff like that. And like even old, like I have a lot of old ones, and every once in a while I'll go through and then I'll bring, there's a guy who's got a local record shop, and I gave him a giant tote of records, and I was like, here. He's like, what do you want for them? I'm like, just take them. Like I don't have the room. Like put them in your dollar bin or whatever, and like every time I go there now, he gives me like a discount because of that. Like what I mean?
Cool.
So, yeah. So it is what it is. But yeah. So hey, I wanted to ask about "I Ain't No Fish."
Yeah.
Tell me about that song, because I really liked the name, and I liked the song, and like
This was supposed to be the first song on the album.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's a song that I wrote after listening to Billy Joel. Because I had never listened to Billy Joel in my life, and I did for a whole afternoon, because someone told me like, it's great, you should listen to Billy Joel. And I'm not, it's Billy Joel, right? The guy, the stranger, like, yeah. Right? Okay, that's Billy Joel. Cool. Okay. And then I was like, I'm not a good, like, I can't play piano for real. Like, but I was like, maybe I couldn't write a song on the piano. And I did, and it's this song. And I don't know, I thought it was an interesting... At first, I thought it was going to be a good intro, because I said, like, it's about, like... well, it's about many things, but, like, at first I said, like, that they only gave me 30 minutes to explain a lot of things that I can't really explain in 30 minutes. And it's like, I feel weird sometimes when I play shows, because sometimes I wish I could say more. I wish I could be more clever, more intelligent in what I'm saying. I wish I could be more political and more serious, but I feel like most of the time I just end up being a clown, because I like to make people laugh in between my songs.
Yeah.
And it's just like but it's like there's an inadequacy, because like it's just sometimes my songs are very sad, and it's just like I'm making jokes about how, I don't know, when I'm on tour, I talk about the day that I just like lived, and I was like, hey, this morning I had breakfast and there's a dog that shat in the restaurant, and that was a weird thing that was not on the menu, guys. And then this song's about being sad. Let's do this. Let's go. All right, it's cool. Yeah.
It's a good way to break it up, right?
Yeah. Some people have told me like, oh, like, we love seeing you live, because like in between songs, it's so great. I'm just like, what about the songs? It just feels weird.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel sometimes like more. Sometimes I play shows and I'm like, all right, I'm an entertainer tonight. I'm I'm just here to entertain people and that's it. But sometimes I play more intimate shows where I'm just like, all right, tonight I'm a singer-songwriter and I have to tell a story. And I guess I Ain't No Fish is a little bit about this. It's a little bit about like feeling, playing shows and being like, who am I playing tonight? Who's my character?
I like that. I feel like that's a good way to do it too. Like as far as like the perspective of like how you feel, you know what I mean? Like, because you gotta be you, right? And we're each person, all of us, we're different. There's different levels to us, different layers, and we're never one thing, right? Like I feel like if someone is always the one thing, then they're putting on an act, right? But like, I think being able to like, you're basing it off of how you feel is how you're gonna perform. I like that. I think that's a pretty unique way of doing things.
Mm-hmm.
So that's cool.
I've toured with bands, and I've seen bands that are doing this weird thing where each night they have basically the same thing they say in between each songs. I don't know how they do this. Okay, if you're Weezer or Green Day or something like that, I kind of understand that like you need to do this, but even then, I just like I would need someone like a professional, someone very like I would need like Billy Joe Armstrong to sit down with me and to tell me like, actually, Guilhem, it's very important to do this because like, and then we would talk for hours about this, and I would tell him like, yeah, but like it's redundant, and I don't know, it's to me it feels weird to like in between songs saying like doing the same things every night.
Yeah.
But you know what? Like some people are doing it and it's cool. But personally, I don't.
For me, like I said, like I like, I don't know. And like, I'm not always the best at explaining things or whatever, but like I base everything in my life off of like a couple different things. And one of them is just like how I feel about the situation, like how I like the vibe I'm getting. Right. And like, I think having a vibe where like, you're gonna play a show based on how you feel, like you're in between the songs or whatever it's gonna be based. Like I like that. I think that's
even the way that I play my songs are different depending on the context.
Oh, really?
Yeah. When I'm playing solo acoustic, it's first of all, I never practice. I never rehearse my songs acoustic because I feel like once I know my songs, once I know like the chord progression and I know the lyrics, I'm like good enough. Like I can decide to play it more slowly, more like quickly. I can decide that like, oh, in the second verse, now I'm gonna like just strum it this way, or I'm gonna stop strumming and I'm gonna sing it out loud, like not in the microphone. Because that's how I feel like doing it tonight. And like that, and that's something I really enjoy about playing acoustic and solo. Like every night I can decide to play any songs that I know, and I can decide to do whatever I want. And I really like that freedom that you don't necessarily have with a band, because like the band is just going to be like, hey, let's just play the songs we rehearsed. We're not professional musicians here. Let's do our best.
Yeah. I think that's good too, because I feel like when I go to a show, like if I'm going to see a band perform live, like I don't need to hear the album version. I already, you know what I mean? Yeah. I've already heard that. Like there's a band I go see a lot up this way, friends of mine, Coffin Salesman, and like every show is different. Every show, like
that's
the set,
cool.
like the set is always different, and like I'm into that. Like I want to know how they're gonna end the set. I want to know what they're gonna open with, you know, and like if they throw something like a new thing in there or a new like little effect or whatever. Like I like that stuff. Like that's the kind of stuff I really vibe on. So I think because like again in like, you know, doing a live show, like you're going to be entertaining no matter what, but like it's cool when it's like we're going to see something different, right? It's almost like it's kind of like you like subconsciously know, or maybe consciously know, that like people are going to see you more than once. Let's give them something each time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I can get down. I appreciate that. I definitely do.
Sometimes I just wish that something I wish I would add to my shows would be those moments where I'm like, and this next song is about, and then I say what this next song is about, because usually I'm just like telling random things, and I'm just like, and here's this next one about like being hungover. Let's do this. Yeah. That's not what I talked about in the last 2 minutes, but let's do this.
Yeah. No, I like that though. I really do. I don't know. And again, like I I look at things a little differently, I think, than some people, but I think that's an awesome thing. Like, it gets me excited. I have to come check you out on a live show. I got to come see you play sometime, or if, you know.
Oh yeah.
What do you have any shows coming up you want to talk about?
I don't have a lot of shows coming up. I'm playing. I guess it depends when this will be released, but it's all shows in Quebec or Ontario. I don't have any shows planned elsewhere in the world at the moment. I'm planning on going back to Europe next summer. In the meantime, it's difficult to think about the future of music, for me at least, in the United States of America.
Yeah, no,
because
I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Everything's kind of weird here.
Yeah. I was kind of looking forward, like a couple years ago, I guess. I was thinking about, like, yeah, I'm going to record a new album in English and I'm going to release it, and then I'm going to tour in the US. I'm going to get my visa and it's going to be easy. And now I'm like, I'm not sure I want to do this anymore, because it's just like even taking the legal way to do all the paperwork to get your visa, then after that, like, I don't know. It's just...
Listen, I don't want to be here. I really don't right now.
Yeah.
So I you know what? You might see me in Montreal at some point soon, just to hang out.
Yeah, where are you? Where do you live?
So I live like in between. I live in Massachusetts. I live right outside of Worcester, Mass.
Okay, yeah. So that's Western Mass, is that it?
More central, but yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
central.
So,
okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of in between Providence, Rhode Island, and Worcester. I live like right.
Okay.
I'm probably like the halfway point between like Providence and Worcester. So, but yeah, no, I went to, because I went up there for Pouza Fest, and like I really liked it. I really enjoyed the city. I liked it. I don't travel that much these days, so like being able to come up and I'd come back and visit. And I really think you'll see me at every Pouza from here on out, because I had so much fun. I feel like that is the best way for a festival to be run, where you're not all in just one big field for a day.
Mm-hmm. It's very difficult to organize this festival because there's so many layers of organization, and it's just like it's like we are an independent nonprofit like festival. This year we lost money actually, so and it was like it was the first year we had the outdoor stage back. The outdoor stage is like you were there, like, did you go to the outdoor stage?
I did. I went to the outdoor stage for the Call Me Rita set.
Cool. Yeah.
While there was like a bunch of wrestling going on.
Yeah. So this site is like free. It's free. Like, you don't need your wristband to go there, because the city of Montreal, they're letting us like do shows there, but the only downside is like we cannot charge anything. So we try to get money out of sponsors and grants, but we don't get enough money to have shows big enough. So like next year we are going to downsize. I think that's what the thing, it's not 100% confirmed, but like I think the plan is to downsize a little bit to another site that's going to be a little bit smaller, but right in the same neighborhood. And there's probably going to be smaller bands on the outdoor stage, because like financially speaking, that's what makes sense for us. And
I tell you what, I love discovering new bands, so like that's why I enjoyed myself there so much.
In my heart, Pouza Fest is a festival to discover new bands. The outdoor stage is something that like a lot of people enjoy. Personally, I think it's cool that we get to expand it to an outdoor stage that's free and it's all ages. So like you can bring your kids, and it's like there's something cool about it. But for me personally, if this was 100% my festival, I don't think I would like have an outdoor stage, just because like it's so much stress, so much money that we spend there. Yeah, I would rather keep it like smaller and indoors. It's also, if it's raining, and like it rained the whole weekend, and that's why I think that's why we lost money.
I blamed me for the rain. I'm sorry. I brought it with me.
Oh, it was you?
I was like, Jeff's like, it's never rained while I've been here before. I'm like, sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Don't bring the rain next year.
No, I won't. I'll try not to. Yeah. It was just.
And sorry, that's what I tell people, because there are a lot of people that are comparing like our like Pouza Fest with other bigger festival in Quebec or in Ontario, and every time they're like, oh yeah, but I can get a pass for this festival in Quebec and it's gonna be cheaper, and I can see like bigger bands, and I'm like, well, you go ahead and go there, because that's not the point.
Right.
The point of the point of Pouza is you buy your pass. I think like this year the most expensive pass you could have gotten was like a 220 Canadian dollars, so like 160 US for 3 days. And then you walk around and you discover new bands, and sometimes you're like, I want to see Iron Chic, but then what's that other band that is playing in that other venue next door? Like maybe I'll give them a chance.
That's what happened with me. I actually with that band, I was gonna go back and see I was watching Toys That Kill, and I cut out early to go see Micah, and then when I think Iron Chic was playing like after Micah did back at Foops, and I was like, I'm just gonna stay here and check out
Chad Price.
Yes, Chad Price. Yep. So damn, you had the whole schedule in your head?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But just for a few months, because then
the new one will be.
Then it's the new one.
Right on. Guilhem, this was so much fun, man. Thanks for coming on and talking about the new record and just your journey with music.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, and talking about Pouza. You know, if you want, let's have you back on when it's closer.
Yeah.
Like after you guys announce bands for Pouza, maybe we can go through and like do a special episode.
I'll be down to do that. Like if you want to do that once even if when the whole lineup is out, what we could do is we could do an episode where you listen to all the bands before, and you pick your 10 favorite bands, and I pick my 10 favorites. And
then let's do something. Yeah, we'll plan it. We'll have some fun with it. All right, and
I'll be down with that.
Yeah, cool. And don't be surprised if you see my giant ass walking through Montreal anytime soon. I'm due to get the hell out of here for a little bit. So.
Oh yeah. All right. Sounds good.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
All the words are meaningless unless I can explain the context. They've only given me half an hour. The pictures on your wall don't mean much if you're not there to tell me all